Alright everybody, welcome back to Free America. I'm going to do a short video today on what I believe is probably the coolest German Army knife ever. So here on the box you can see it says Messer Kapp Airtrooper, which means a Kappmesser. Kappmesser just means a cutting knife. We might call it a utility knife. Airtrooper is Luftlandtruppe, or paratroopers, right? So this is the NATO stock number in case anybody cares. So this is what we've got in here, right? This is the paratrooper gravity knife. I've had this knife around for, oh man, forever. I bought it at a gun show, geez, 4, 5, 6 years ago. Luckily for me, the guy that had it didn't know how to operate it. so I got it for a song. I think I paid somewhere around $25 for this knife. Nowadays, this knife, new with a box like I have, you'll pay anywhere from $150 up for this knife. So what's so cool about it? It's a gravity knife, right? So this little lever right here, the blade comes out. So the point of this is for flyers and airborne forces to quickly cut themselves out of the shrouds of their parachute when they hit the ground. That's really what it's about. Once it's like this, it's locked in. It's not going back in. And to put it back in, you just, that's it. It's pretty simple. It also has the Marlin spike, which is for the same reason that you have a Marlin spike on naval knives. It's for untying knots, right? It's for working the rope, right? That's what it's about. So this is a pretty neat piece of equipment. This one is a Bundeswehr knife. Let's see if you can see that right there. All right, it says Bund on the handle. These knives actually originated prior to the First World War, or excuse me, prior to the Second World War. Right about the time that Germany started experimenting with parachute forces, paratroopers. The ones during the Second World War were almost identical, very, very similar mechanically. They had wooden scales, handle scales on them. And generally this part of the knife was not blued, but it was nickeled. So really cool little knife. Let's see if I can get the marking on the blade there. So it's a very simple piece of equipment, right? It has the spear point blade. It is sharp, boys and girls, capital F. Right? It is really sharp. I have cut myself with it, so I know. The neat thing about this knife is it's made to be disassembled. So the little arrow right here points to this thing right here, this little knob. So you push this knob in, and you can pull that off. All right? So once you've done that, you can open the knife up for cleaning. Right, very simple. And simply put it back together in reverse order. That's it. Neat piece of gear. Most of the time when you see Bundeswehr troops carrying these, they have a lanyard on them. They do originally come with a lanyard, but the lanyard is just a cheap little green army shoelace, and it's a piece of crap. So most of the guys that you see that have these knives with them use a piece of paracord as a lanyard. But like I said, I think this is probably the coolest German Army knife out there, just because of its neat history. This knife, the style of knife and the purpose of this knife survived all the way through the Second World War, all the way past the Second World War to today. They even made these in East Germany, so not exactly like this. I wish I could get my hands on one. So even when Germany was divided, German paratroopers were carrying this knife. So I think that's really cool. These knives are referred to as paratrooper knives or gravity knives, right? Because gravity gets the blade out and puts it back in. But it's not just issued to paratroopers. So just to be clear, right? In the United States Army, a paratrooper is not the same thing as a parachutist, right? So a guy who goes to airborne school and earns his wings is parachute qualified, right? Generally, you do 5 jumps in jump school, and you come out with your airborne wings. Those folks are referred to as five jump chumps, right? So, and most of the folks in the Army that you see wearing parachutist wings, are just that. A paratrooper is not just a parachutist. A paratrooper is an infantryman who jumps out of an airplane, and when he hits the ground, he fights as light infantryman. So you see all kinds of guys and gals running around with parachutist wings on, right? It's the same in the German Army. Fallschirmjaeger means paratrooper, right? A Jaeger is a kind of light infantry in the German military. So you'll see Fallschirmtruppen, you know what I'm saying, guys that are parachute qualified, but they're not necessarily light infantrymen that jump out of airplanes and when they hit the ground fight as light infantry. So who cares, right? This is just a really cool piece of equipment. So I wanted to share it with you. And thanks to all my subscribers, thanks to all my viewers, my watchers. If you like this video, if this was entertaining, helpful at all, please give me a thumbs up. If you think it sucks, give me a thumbs down, or you know, share this video with somebody that you hate, and maybe they'll give me a thumbs up. So this is a really cool piece of gear. Subscribe if you would. You know, I don't do these videos very often, so I won't fill up your email inbox with spam because I'm making videos. So God bless America. Thanks for coming by today, and we'll see you next time here in Free America.